I've been hoping to get an update from Melanie Stansbury, but the Trump administration is stopping the investigations. Like, for instance, the Zorro Ranch, New Mexico investigation. Currently, that's the only criminal investigation open for the Epstein class. Like, we're not investigating what they've done in any other state. Yeah, everybody get behind Raul Torres of New Mexico Department of Justice. He's the Attorney General trying to investigate and bring justice for the Epstein survivors and victims. So, y'all remember Steven Mnuchin, the Secretary of the Treasury from Trump's first term? He's behind the Lego movies. And I think that's why Iran is using the Lego theme in their propaganda videos. Yeah, but this massive piece of shit is the one that wiped most of the PPP data loan information, and most of the large corporations, the MAGA corporations that took PPP loans during COVID, didn't have to pay them back. So a lot of small mom and pop businesses had to pay theirs back. A lot of individuals didn't get any loans. And then meanwhile, these large corporations, crickets, didn't have to pay a dime. So if you're wondering who the swamp and the Epstein parasite class is and the people behind these multinational corporations, start with this motherfucker. Just the stuff we know about him is fucking terrible. I can't imagine the type of shit this dirtbag has done behind closed doors. In addition to that, these neo-Confederate fascists who have no creativity of their own, no connection with art, they don't understand themselves. They try to piggyback off the popularity of the Lego propaganda from Iran, and these multinational corporations try to create these commercials on YouTube with Lego likeness. They're trying to come across the MAGA bases like those are the actual Lego videos, and to think there's some idiot MAGA that's like lost most of their money to crypto that actually thinks they're watching the Lego videos. It's really just these shitty YouTube commercials with just these fucked up storylines that it's just brain rot. These advertisements. I've talked about these YouTube advertisements before. They're strictly there, like these billionaires pay to layer in these just shitty, creepy ass advertisements on like Midas Touch videos at the most critical times just to distract you while you're trying to connect the dots. So they're not even advertising for like a product that they want to sell you. They're just taking up airspace. They're just trying to be a distraction. Those advertisements are designed just to throw you off track. That's fucking crazy that these marketing motherfuckers have a budget to spend money on advertising just to confuse you. It's not even to sell you anything. That's why I say these MAGA faux zealots are not even capitalists. Because I've been watching them for years, they would be trying to make money in every way possible. But I think it's just a cover. I think all these big numbers, these billions and trillions and these deals and these bespoke deals and all this bullshit and these tariffs, it's all just a distraction. They don't even give a fuck about the money. Trump and Elon just want to stay out of prison. That's all this is about. And the people that are in control, the multinational corporations and the dark money folks, they are using the fact that Trump is so compromised to retain power. And back in 2019, investigators in New York got investigators in New Mexico Department of Justice to step down and stop doing their investigation. And the current Attorney General for New Mexico Department of Justice, who's trying to move forward with the Zorro Ranch investigation, Epstein's ranch, per Katie Fang, he's saying that the U.S. Department of Justice, Trump and Todd Blanche, are stonewalling New Mexico's investigation. And this ranch has untold atrocities. They're told that there's bodies everywhere. This is the same ranch that Don Huffines, who's running for Texas comptroller in the midterms, acquired and is trying to turn it into a Christian's children's camp. Like, why did you acquire that? Why did you do it anonymously? Why did you try to hide it from us? Why isn't Texas Ethics Commission investigating campaign finance violation laws there? So why did you acquire that ranch? Why are you lying about it? Why are you creepily trying to change it into a Christian children's camp? Why did you immediately start digging there? And why in 2019 did the New York offices throw New Mexico AG off the scent. New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres says the shambolic Trump regime has been anything but cooperative on their Epstein Zorro Ranch, New Mexico investigation. So Torres and the New Mexico Department of Justice are suing the U.S. Department of Justice, requesting unredacted Epstein files because Zorro Ranch was mentioned 13,000 times in the redacted public versions of the Epstein files that have been released. Yeah, this encroaches on state sovereignty and it inhibits the state's ability to investigate crimes that are committed within its borders. And remember, New Mexico is the only state with an active criminal Epstein investigation in 2026. And I am so relieved to see the Social Democrats and the grassroots campaigns behind Abdul beat out Haley Stevens in Michigan in that Democratic primary, because Haley Stevens was backed by like BlackRock and Israel. Abdul is not. And I think y'all should take heed of this Taylor Farms thing. They are exploiting prison labor just like Wendy's and McDonald's. Who manages the assets for them? BlackRock. Now look at Project 2025. Look who's making a bunch of money with all these ICE immigration detentions and these detention facilities and these concentration camps. Private prison facilities who make money off private prison labor. They're mostly lower socioeconomic classes, people of color that are put into prison with stupid ass rules put together by crusty ass old demented racist white men. And instead of investing into public education, these fools set up a pipeline to go to prisons so they could have these multinational corporations exploit the labor within these prisons. It's not a model that's unique to only Wendy's and McDonald's and Taylor Farms. It is systemic. BlackRock has made this a part of our economy because of our ties to racism and because of our previous Jim Crow. This is the new Jim Crow. This is the Jim Crow 2.0, where they demonize public education, they strip all our resources, they send as many young kids back into these private prisons as possible, they stack dollars, meanwhile exploiting their labor, and they make out like bandits, ruining the lives of millions of people in the process. And the guy that I circled in that post about the Tarrant County Commissioner Court, that old Senator Palpatine looking guy, I saw that guy when I was in Tarrant County Commissioner Court. That guy is a regular. He's one of the investor type people who wants to stay anonymous. He doesn't want his name in the news, but he absolutely pushes this Nazi shit that's coming out of like Tim O'Hare and Manny Ramirez's Tarrant County Commissioner's Court. He supports this Nazi shit with Don Huffines, and he supports all this Nazi shit with Ken Paxton and Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. So you guys need to see that all this is connected. If you guys can see that this is connected, if you guys, gals, and non-binaries can see that all this is connected, the multinational corporations, the far-right evangelicals, the foreign adversaries working against us, but also with the Trump administration at the same time. If you don't see that that's all working in concert, then I don't think you're going to get anything. And you're not going to understand why we're asking you to vote for progressive Democrats who are on the left, not taking money from AIPAC and BlackRock. You're not going to understand that. You're not going to see that if you don't get this. So both sides are not the same. Go find your little mini Mom Donnie in your area and make sure to vote for them in the midterms in November. Fuck. This shit is not rocket science. Like, we just need to end Citizens United, bring back Chevron deference, and flush these Nazis out. And all of our lives will immediately improve overnight.